Hello everyone and welcome to the second presidential debate.
Woo!
Okay,
Yeah.
Let's try that again. That's where you guys are supposed to scream. Okay. 3, 2, and 1. No, you guys are really bad at this.
Get down, get freaky.
You guys are bad at this. Hello everyone and welcome to the second annual presidential debate on Blisscraft Evolved.
I'm eating a breadstick!
Yeah!
Oh,
okay.
can we have the candidates please come on out? The vice presidents first.
Nikki goes first because she's a lady. No.
Oh, the lady too.
And now can we have the presidents come on out? Okay, now, before we get started here, Gateman is, why are there blueberries on the floor? Anyways, Gateman is taking place of D, correct? Or are you just filling in for her? Are you, like, fully taking her place, or just filling in for the debate?
Oh no, I'm just filling in for the debate. I have no desire to be president, just vice president.
Okay. Alright. So these are the candidates and the, not and the vice candidates, but I guess and the vice candidates technically. So we will begin here right now with speeches. MC Gamer Wyatt.
Hello. Good evening. My name is MC Gamer Wyatt. I am the current president of Blisscraft. Me and my partner, Crafty Simmer, are running for re-election. I know that in our time in office, we did not do much. Heike and I will be working very hard to change that. I do have some ideas in mind on how we will achieve it. Heike and I would really appreciate it if you were to vote for us. I know we didn't do so well our first term, but I promise we will change that. It is important that you do go out and vote. Now, no matter who you vote for, just go vote. Thank you.
Okay, thank you for that. Because Gateman has to fill in last minute, we're gonna go to him last. Joe, can you please step up and give us your speech?
Me? Should I go?
You're the, president, right? Who dat?
Yes.
Hi,
So we're
Teak.
skipping over Gamer, right? Got this.
Who is that?
It's
Teak.
Teak.
Oh, hey, T. Joe, go ahead and give us your speech now.
Hello, citizens of Bliss. Clearly, I am running for president, and today I'll be explaining a few of the ideas me and my running mate Molly have come up with. We believe some of these ideas could be very beneficial for the server and its players. One of the big ideas we have is to add a Congress, or some voting system for laws to be established. This could work by allowing citizens to have a say in the future laws and policies being made. If we are able to establish a Congress, we would like to add a way of voting for these Congress members by putting all citizens on the ballot for a fair share and value. This could benefit widely, seeing as all laws that may be proposed are not what players might want. Another huge topic we would like to touch on is the shopping district. There are already many unwritten rules and regulations set in place. However, there are a few that we think could be altered and some that could be added. One of these regulations includes having a period of time of which you must build your shop from the time it is claimed. Many plots are claimed and are done nothing with. These unused or procrastinated builds could go to some use to someone who may want to use that plot. Another shopping rule we think could be beneficial for filling space in this district is to add 5 shops per player, seeing as many plots are available but are not going to much use at the moment. The final idea that I will mention today is to create a festival for holidays and group gatherings for the pure get-together enjoyment. Holidays, seasons, and a few other things could be a great way for us to have fun with each other and bond as a community. We have many more ideas, but these are a few of the prominent ones we had in mind. If you wish to read more about our ideas and see the other ones we have, after the debate, a document will be posted in the Bliss Craft Evolve chat with a full list of all the ideas alongside an explanation for them. If we are elected, we will work with Bridget and hopefully our future Congress to get these things into place. But most importantly, we will work with you, the citizens, to this.
Okay, thank you. And Gateman, can you go ahead and give us your speech, which, keep in mind everyone, that is last minute because the actual running president did not show, and he is the vice president, so bear with him.
Thank you for that introduction. I hope you'll ignore the fact that I can't get up. I had to step away from my computer to do this because I didn't want any distractions in the background while I try to influence your vote. My name's Gateman DX, or if you don't want to say that, you can just call me Dan. I have been on this site for a long time, and most of you have already known me. You've been able to get in touch with me, and hell, I might have helped you out by giving you armor or saving your shit in the past. Well, I'm here to represent myself and Dee in our endeavor to make sure that Blitzcraft continues to become the best Minecraft server it can possibly be. In doing so, I would like to propose a little twist on Joe's idea. I don't want to try to enact a Congress. I would much rather keep the power balance that we have, where the president will continue to report directly to Bridget, but I want you all to feel perfectly comfortable coming to address your problems with myself or with Dee. So if you have any problem on the server, if I can help you with it, I will do it immediately. If you have some suggestions, I will make sure to always bring it up with Bridget as soon as possible. As far as, say, economic growth goes, I want to try to make sure that we actually have shops that are being used. And aside from that, making sure that we have shops that can actually give a service that everyone provides. So I will be taking polls later to find out what you players want from the shops and see what we can figure out about how to meet your needs. As for why you should vote for us, Wyatt hasn't done shit as during his role as a president, and so far we have no signs that he will do any different in a second term. And while I like Heike, I don't see her having the time to fully support the position that she will be in with all the other things she has to do in her day-to-day life. Meanwhile, I don't hide the fact that I have no life, and I spend more time on the server than anyone should be able to. It's a joke between us that I spend more time on the server than Bridget, even though she owns the damn thing. So you know that whenever you have a grievance, there'll always be someone there representing you. There'll always be someone there to help you out. And finally, a vote for me is a vote for D. And who doesn't love a good pair of double Ds? Thank you.
Oh, dang.
Oh!
Oh my god!
Oh my
Had
god.
to say that last. Okay. Audience, oh, hey, Teak! I don't have my chat turned on, so I didn't know you came in here. So I know you joined call, but I didn't know you were here. Welcome.
Yeah.
Hi, Kat.
I mean,
we have some random people in the audience here because what is this?
They're asleep.
Oh my gosh, it was so creepy.
Yeah, they all fell asleep.
So, the first thing that I want to address, okay, is the shops issue. Okay. This is a big issue on the server. People seem to claim plots and either A, don't do anything with them, or B, they want to claim plots and then they do, and then they're constantly changing what they want to do with them, which that's not a problem. The problem is maybe people need help in the shops or something, and they could require some, employees. And the current president and vice president haven't been doing anything about that, and we all know that. So let's actually go to the current president and the vice president both and see what they have to say about that.
Well, thank you, Queen Beach. Yes, that is true. We will. That is a strong point in our term, is that we want to fix that. Personally, as you know, I own a building company. Be more than willing to help other places build, but as I know that my place is a business, so I do require payment. But if you are unstable financially, I would be very willing to work with you and work beside you and just try to help you build your business. I would like to help you just establish what you want to do, establish your dreams, establish your goals, and just make your business what you always dreamed of.
Okay, does the vice president have anything to add?
No, I think that covers pretty much all of it.
And then what about the government jobs on the server? How do you guys intend to make sure that people are aware that there are jobs that are opening up that they actually will get paid for?
I'm sorry, can you repeat that? You keep cutting out.
Good grief, Discord. Okay. Government jobs? How do you plan to make sure that people know that jobs are available so that way they can make money, like more money?
That is a good question. And thank you for asking it. Yes, me and my vice president, Heike, would be working with each member of the server, trying to help them get a financially stable job and just trying to help them out. Like I said in my opening statement, we did not do much in our first term, and we would like to change that. So, I would be working. Me and her would both be working beside the citizen of Blisscraft, and we would like to help them find a job and become financially stable.
Does the vice president have anything to add?
Perhaps to even have them become more aware of the jobs that are opening, have more of an initiative of signs, and even just advertising around the town so that they know that we have openings in those government jobs, such as lawyers, judges, policemen, and other things among that.
Okay.
Agreed.
Okay, I just want to point out there for everyone that is watching this video or on Heike's end or whoever else may be recording, I don't actually know. Wyatt and Heike were voted in, and there wasn't anything to do the first month that they were voted in, there were no jobs or anything. They kind of just had the position. We intended to do something with it that month, but 3 or 4 weeks into their inauguration and becoming president and vice president, we had some issues with the mob pack, and we had to delete a lot of stuff and reinstall, redo some stuff. So the server was kind of unusable for about a month for the most part, and we found out how to fix it and everything. So then they had a month, and then they had an extra month. Usually it's only 3 months. They had 4 because of the issue of not being able to get on for about a month. So I just wanted to let that be aware that that is the reason for the first 2 months of them being in office not doing anything. I'm only giving them those 2 months though.
I'll be right back.
Okay. I am going to now move on to Joe and Molly.
Sounds good.
Okay. So, you guys, same questions about shops and about the government jobs. How do you guys plan to make sure people are going to be aware of these jobs at the shops and the government shops? What? Yeah.
As I mentioned in my opening speech, we have a lot of issues considering and concerning the shops. we spent a lot of time thinking about the things that we should add, the things that could be altered. And in general, overall, as Wyatt was earlier saying about how he's willing to work with people to help them build up their shops and their businesses, as if my team gets put into office, we will work to achieve if people are unable to build their shops but want to build their shops, we'll help them if they are unable to. However, at the same time, we think that the regulations for the times needed in between claiming and building a shop should still be put in place, seeing as if they aren't put in place and are not asked for help, then that is just a plot being wasted. Back to the government jobs, I mentioned my Congress. I think that could be a great source of the way laws are being made and the way jobs could be created. And the way that would work is to have all players on the ballot, and anybody can vote for anybody on the server to be part of this Congress to help represent them in the laws. And that's a good source of job. That's providing jobs for people. And alongside the police station and lawyers and judges and all of that, that will be handled by my vice president, and we will talk about it and handle it and do everything needed to be done to get people jobs to where they need.
Okay, and then does the vice president have anything to add to that?
I think Joe pretty much covered it all.
All right, and Dan?
You're cutting out again, Bridget.
Oh, goody. 1 second. So, Dan, same questions to you about the shops and government jobs. How do you and Dee plan to make sure that, you know, people are aware of them and everything?
I think people are plenty aware of the shops. I think the biggest problem is, like has been pointed out, we have a lot of spots that have been claimed, but no one's actually done anything with them yet. And so I would like to propose that should you claim a spot, you have a maximum of 2 weeks to either show that you have some intention of doing something there, or you have to have contacted someone like myself or Dee or someone else to say, hey, I need help with this. Can you help me out? Because 9 times out of 10, I will come at a moment's notice to help you out with it. If I can't help you directly by offering you free items to build with, or helping you actually do the labor, I can give you some, I will give you some of my own money if needed to hire Wyatt to fill the place if you, for whatever reason, cannot. As for the government jobs, I believe that the best way to do that would probably be a personal approach to it. As mentioned, I'm against the idea of a Congress because I believe the way Joe has set it up, it would end up in anarchy. And if nothing else, Blisscraft needs a strong and stable leadership. I would much rather take the time to talk to people individually and make sure that they feel like their voices are heard. Because I don't know about you, but I'm not exactly entirely happy with the Congress that we have in most countries. So I don't want to see someone feeling the same way that a lot of people feel about the people representing them. And more than anything, I want people to be able to come onto the place and find that it's a place for them to relax, have fun, and feel like they've been able to accomplish something.
All right, next question is about taxes. And Joe, we're going to start with you this time for it. Joe, how do you and your partner plan to... that is the wrong question, Bridget. Joe, how do you and your partner feel about implementing taxes into our system? Should we tax the citizens for their houses or for their shops, or neither, or both, or just one? And who is that? Hi, Bliss. Okay, 1 second. I have to let my cat in, so this is you know, this is a
Cats
thing.
are great.
when you're a cat owner and
Oh.
you record. Okay, same teak. Same teak. Go on, Joe, and answer now.
To sum it all up, personally, I do not believe we should tax the people for their houses, seeing as it is them who built it. Unless, of course, they hired somebody else. Then that is an issue for them to solve because they are paying people to do it. Anyway, if somebody has worked to do something, I don't believe they should be taxed off of it, especially without government help. Going back to the shopping idea, if for say the government was to help you out with budgeting your shop and resources and such as that, then maybe there would be a tax or a loan type ordeal. However, if the person gets their own resources,
Please sit down.
builds their own house, builds their own shops, builds everything themselves, gets all their materials, I believe there should not be taxes on that.
Very good. And does your partner agree with you?
Yeah, I agree with what he says.
Okay, very good. Wyatt is not there. Heike,
Yes.
can you answer on behalf of you and Wyatt?
I hope so. Because it wasn't anything we discussed. So
Okay.
I'm going to push up my views and see how Wyatt agrees with them.
Okay, that's fine.
All right. So in terms of homes, I don't think necessarily the homes should be necessarily taxed. Most specifically, once again, it's kind of like their own homes. It really isn't ran by the server or owned by the server. Hence, like they pick their own plot because it's their plot. However, though, when it comes to shops, I do think maybe like a little bit of rent incentive to pay taxes to protect their plot, so that way, like, they have to make sales to keep their plot going, pretty much. So basically, taxes will keep their shops, and that would also help too with those who are just keeping plots of land and not using it.
Okay. For the two people that actually already answered, out of curiosity, would you guys say that taxing shops, like, it would not be like anything astronomical or anything like that, but like a little bit? Do you think it would be good to tax shops so that way the government, aka, me, I can pay for the government jobs that people do?
I'll start this one off. The point you brought up with paying for government jobs, that's actually a good idea. I did not consider that before. I definitely think that if you need this money to pay for people, that taxes should be implemented. However, at the same time, I don't really see why we should implement these taxes, seeing how this person has worked to build their own shop and get everything for their shop. But yes, I think in all, it could be a good idea.
It would be, so basically, in order for us to, it's like, but where would the money come from to pay for those jobs? Because if we're not taxing the houses or taxing the shops, how the heck are we going to pay, how the heck are we actually going to fund this job? And like, you're even at Congress. So how is that going to, like, how about taxes are you going to run a Congress or a police station or a hospital of any matter, of any sort of matter? I really think that, wait, 1 minute there, guys. So I think that home shouldn't be, because once again, the government necessarily doesn't tell them that they can live there or not. But in terms of shops, if you own a shop, you should have some sort of server income. You should contribute to some of the server economy.
Okay. Okay, is Gateman back?
I am here.
Okay. Can you go ahead and answer the questions now?
I can, but before I do that, I would like to let everyone watching know the reason Dee is not here is because she had a small family emergency and her daughter is rather ill. So
Okay.
if you feel that way, please pray that she feels better. As for the matter at hand, I made almost all of my money off of doing government jobs for the place by helping or contribute to community builds. So I know firsthand the kind of windfall it can be to make sure that we have that source of income. And I know how important it is that Bridget have the funds to actually pay those of us who can help contribute. With that in mind, I do think that a small income tax would go a long way to ensuring a stable source of income for everyone on the server. I don't think we should tax houses because there are a lot of us, myself included, that have either large amounts of land that we use, large houses that we've built, multiple houses, or in my case, all three. So I believe that if we do that, it kind of cuts down the incentive to build. And if we take out the building and crafting out Minecraft, what do we have? So I think one thing we really need to focus on is ensuring everyone on the server has a stable source of income, whether it be through government jobs, their own shops, or just mining and selling stuff in the admin shop. And we ensure that stays flush and stable by giving, say, a 10% income tax, and that could be paid on a regular time period.
Thank you. At this time, we will take one question from the audience. If anyone in the audience wants to... Oh, welcome, Bliss. I see that you are here now. If anyone wants to ask a question, Teak does. I see that hand. Go on up to the podium, please.
So, question is for everybody. So, if you have new members come in, or even members that are older members that somehow become homeless, what is your intentions to help them?
Oh, can I start? Okay, me and Molly we actually have this in the document that we are sending afterwards the debate. We discussed setting up maybe a starter town, a sort of starter village type thing, where all needs will be met, a chest, a bed, everything that you can imagine. However, that might need to be taxed, seeing as you are using government, but we won't get into that right now. Right now, as anything in general is oh my god, wait, give me a second. Okay, so basically, we'll build a small village. And in this village, new members who don't currently have homes and are building, who don't have a safe way of getting to a safe place pretty much, to stay the night and all this stuff, we'll set up this village for them, and it'll probably be free. Seeing as they are new, they don't have money, we will let them live in these houses and they can just carry on from there.
Okay.
I have a question to follow up for a second to Joe. Will there be a length of time for them to stay in these houses?
I don't think there should be. I personally think my running mate has different views, but I personally think that until you have a place to settle down in, that you should be able to stay in this as long as you need. But don't get me wrong, this isn't going to be like a luxurious man. It's a place for you to stay as long as you need it, for as long.
And what is your running mate's opinion?
She thinks 2 weeks. I don't know if she can.
2 weeks? Okay.
2 weeks.
Okay. Now the next person can go to finish answering Teak's questions.
I'll take that. For new members, I believe that they should be given a small starter pack of tools and armor to make sure they're not just killed by mobs within 10 minutes of getting on the server. As for accommodations, should they become homeless or should they not be able to have anything in the beginning, or possibly taking over a small village to allow for housing for them until they can do it on their own. I'm perfectly happy to build it using my own materials to ensure that the government doesn't take the hit. And as for a length of time to stay, they would be given 24 hours in-game to I'll ensure that they can have time to build up their resources and strike out on their own. I wouldn't even think about charging them rent because where are they going to get it? And I say 24 hours in game instead of say a week real time because I know a lot of people don't have the amount of time to dedicate to the game that someone like me has. You have families, you have lives, you have shit to do. So I want to give them time to actually contribute to their progress on the server where it actually matters instead of a somewhat arbitrary limit outside in the real world.
Am I allowed to ask a follow-up question?
Yes.
Follow-up to what you were saying, Gateman.
Okay.
So, if I understand you right, your idea would be to build like a small neighborhood of starter houses so that they have a place to stay? Is that what I'm understanding?
Yes.
Okay.
And I have 2 questions, I think.
All right.
If I can remember the second one, because I may have just forgot it. The first one... the first one is, it's more of a statement, not a question. You said something about a starter pack of like a weapon and tools. Everybody spawns in with a stone sword, stone pickaxe, stone axe, and stone shovel. I believe that's what the list is. So they do have starter stuff. The second thing was possibly not able to be remembered. You said something about how... Yeah, I don't remember. It's not there anymore.
I can give you a quick recap. Add armor to the starter pack. Give them a place to stay for the first 24 hours that they're on the server.
Oh, that was it.
And don't charge them rent.
24 hours in-game is actually a lot of time. Because I myself only have like 4 days, like real time on the game, and I've done a lot. So I just want to throw out there that I realized that I actually uninstalled my instance maybe once or twice, so I probably have something more like 7 to 10 days, like all together, of gameplay time. Not 3, 4. 4 is what I said, 4. So that's a thing. But, I mean, even at that, still 24 hours, in my opinion, is kind of a really long time because you can do a lot in just like 2 or 3. 24 hours in-game is actually a really, really long time. I would say maybe it would change that to more like 4 hours. Because you can do a lot in an hour or 2.
Well, I mean, with anything, there are kinks, just saying.
Yeah, I know.
Well, I do agree with it. I would rather give them a little bit more time. Maybe not a full 24 hours. I'd be happy to cut that down to 12 with ease, but I don't want to give them a small amount of time because you have no idea what's going to happen. Like, say they just used up all 4 hours trying to gather up a bunch of stuff to make a nice little home for themselves away from the starter village, only to be killed by something like a fire ogre.
True.
And should they not have any chance to get their stuff back, they're now completely screwed.
Or if they fall in lava and lose everything.
Oh, that's
That's
happened a
actually
lot.
not a problem anymore.
Shut up!
Could I say something regarding to Gateman's response?
Sure, that's kind of the point of the debate.
Okay, right, sorry. So about the armor, we do have mods that allow you to have many kinds of armor that are not hard to obtain. One of the first steps in Minecraft is to gather wood, and you can make wooden armor out of that wood. So I don't really see how the armor could be as beneficial. And mud armor, that's very plentiful. There's many kinds of armor that are very plentiful, and I guess, and I don't really think that giving them starter armor.
Yeah, I don't think starter armor is a good idea either, but I'm just here as an observer.
And how about...
But you can also get even iron armor and random armor from loot bags.
Loot bags, exactly.
Mm-hmm. Yes, Heike.
How about like instead of like doing like the armor, it would be more or less like a stack of like bread or something, just like a simple little bit of food, not like much, but something.
Given how big my farm is, I could do that easy.
Yeah, we used to have food implemented in the starter pack for when people spawn in. I don't know what happened to it. It must have like went away when we changed one of the mod packs, so I will have to see about changing it again.
So Wyatt, the question is, what plans do we have in place for those who are brand new to the server and those who may not have homes on the server?
All right, that's a good question. Thank you to whoever asked. Teak.
That was Teak.
Why are you so far away from your mic all of a sudden?
Sorry. Okay. Okay. So yes, I do find it nice to that we get new members semi often, if not pretty often, just depending on like what season it is, I guess. Anyways, so yes, our new members are definitely very important to us. So it is very important to us that we actually get them really settled in here, make them feel like they're at home. Not that we're just another SMP, but that we are a group, a family. We're just here together for each other. So helping them out, finding a house is very important to us. We want them to have a very sustainable place of living. We want them to be very comfortable here. So personally, me and my vice president would be more than happy to take time out of our day, but not only to help them find a place to build, but help them build their dream home. So yes, our new members are very important to us, and we would love to help them out as they are interested in the community. So, you know, just give them back a little bit, help them out. Citizens are very important to us, especially in this term. We're trying to make a comeback and show people what we really are about, because as Bridget said, our first 2 months were not the greatest because of the server issues. But after that, I think it was just mostly us. It was kind of procrastination on not just my part, but both of our parts. I think that we definitely can change that, and we will definitely be changing that. So yes, we would be for our term this time, the safety of our citizens and their living situation is very important to us, along with their jobs. We just want everyone to make sure they are comfortable here and they feel like they are at home.
Okay, I have more questions, but not follow-up
if
questions.
I may add to that real quick.
Go ahead and sit down for a minute. Go ahead.
If I may, this line of questioning and the responses from Joe and Wyatt have kind of brought something to my attention that I believe I might have overlooked. I believe that whoever gets into office of the 3 teams, we really should consider implementing something like a Department of Human Services to help people who need a hand or a hand up instead of just a handout.
I would like to say something about that. In our letter that we are sending after the debate, we have something about government positions in there and something very similar to that. Just to let you guys know.
Okay.
Okay. Can I add to?
Yeah, you can go ahead.
Okay, so I do like Gateman's idea of having government positions, but also not just. I know that we are having a debate and stuff with my fellow competitors, with Joe and Molly, Gateman and D, and then me and Heike. But I would not. After this debate, it's not going to be a look at us, we won, or anything like that. But if I win, I would like to personally get ideas from them and and work with them and making Bliss just greater.
Okay. I just want everyone to keep in mind that the government jobs are not done. Like, we have several more buildings to build. Anyone who has been a part of the Bliss community over the last 2 years knows that before we went modded, we made entire towns with real life buildings in them. Like, there was health departments, we had what was that, like a mold infestation type thing for skits. We had
sanitation department.
Yeah, sanitation. There was health. There was even going to be a garbage disposal thing. Like, yeah,
there was a lot.
We've done a lot of things in our past servers that we've had. So we do plan to implement a lot more jobs for everybody. So there will be more government jobs coming as well. But, you know, it requires people to getting on to help build that are in staff. And that's, you know, that's a completely different issue for a different day or whatever. But, like, I'm just letting everybody know that there is more stuff coming for people to do and whatnot. Along with a new mod pack. Leaked. Okay. So, at this time, I'm going to ask a question. So, it's going to go to Gateman first, then Wyatt, then Joe.
Yay.
Okay.
So, as you know, next door, that giant building right there,
Courthouse.
is the courthouse. I am the primary judge because I don't favor one side or the other. I favor whoever's right or wrong. If I am not available, there will be a secondary judge that will be voted in by the people in Bliss and only the people in Bliss, no one outside of Bliss. But here is the thing. Should we have entire different law offices and like law firms, or should we just have a few different like public defender lawyers?
That's actually a pretty good question.
Or both?
I believe that it should be the duty of the staff to work as public defenders unless they're aggrieved. And I believe that as far as the law goes, I'll be honest, I don't really know how to approach that, because it seems to me, other than, say, if your stuff gets stolen or destroyed, or a house gets destroyed somehow, there's not really much crime that I've seen in my tenure as a member of the community. I believe currently that the system that we have in place works and would only need minor tweaks.
Jeez, sit down. Yes, I actually agree with doing both, because I think that it just gives more people more options of who to choose for what specific task they are paid for or just assigned or whatnot. But another thing that brings up into is that could be more spaces for job opportunities. And like I said earlier, jobs are really important to me and Heike this term, and making sure that everyone has one. So I actually agree with doing both.
So, on this topic, I think I have explained my ideas in the past. I think people should be able to come up with law firms on their own law companies to defend whoever they choose to defend. And I may have sounded like I was going to say more, but it's really quite simple.
At this time, we're going to go to the audience and see if either Bliz or Katie have any questions.
I know for a fact Bliss has been waiting to ask something for like 10 minutes.
Where is Bliz?
This concerns on Gateman and Joe. It's back to the new people in the neighborhood and what you guys were gonna build. But I was just gonna wonder, because like myself, when I started the server, when I heard that it was modded, I freaked out, because I've never played with mods. So once I started the server, all I wanted to do was start mods, and that's what I did. Even currently, my house is technically not built, and I'm still doing mods. And concerning with the neighborhood houses and the houses that you would build, would those houses consist of areas where people could start doing mods and start doing whatever they want?
That actually is a really good idea, but I don't think that should be. Maybe in some way we can have do witchery and Tinker's Construct, but also those are kind of mods that people like to do for themselves, to experience themselves. And the starter homes, the purpose is not to let people get a chance to just live there and do other stuff. If you do choose to do other stuff, it's also your responsibility to get yourself situated into a home.
In my opinion, I believe that putting an area with or nearby the starter homes would partially be a bad idea as it comes to the mods, because if we're going to get people in there, we need to make sure that they have some sort of incentive to leave and create their own place. And while doing a time limit will make sure that they have at least some sense of urgency, it also would be kind of counterintuitive if they spent that entire time trying to play with mods. What I would consider is trying to create a small community area with some of the more popular mods in them, such as the Tinker's Construct machines, the witchery stuff. Me personally, I would stick with just trying to implement the stuff I know, specifically because if I try doing something that I'm not entirely familiar with, I'm not going to be able to give help if someone needs it. And to make sure that people aren't just going to continue trying to do or use the community center instead of trying to make their own stuff, we would have to find some way to either limit their amount of time using it or possibly do a small fee for each use. Like, say, a couple $100 will buy you an hour of time. But it's something that myself and my partner will consider discussing with our queen should we be elected.
Okay.
Okay. At this time, I have a quick question. It's kind of a follow-up to his, but not really. It's kind of its own.
Okay.
How do you guys think, well, okay. I'm going to be building an education center. It's not going to be like a high school or like a proper college. It's going to be more of a community college / though tech type of school, where it's going to, there will be like big rooms depending on like what it's for to teach you certain things. Like there will be like a witchery one for like beginners in witchery. There will be one for like maybe advanced witchery. Tinker's Construct will be one for there will always be a beginners and usually an advanced for these courses. And what do you guys think the proper amount should be for one class for beginners and for advanced for each? Like, we're not going to go crazy and be like, beginners witchery is going to be $406, but beginners Tinker's Construct will be $307. Like we're just gonna make all beginners classes one price and all advanced another price. What do you guys think the prices should be?
I would like to go first if that's okay.
Never mind.
That's fine with me.
It does not matter who goes first.
Okay, it's okay if I go first, guys?
Go for it.
All right. Okay, so thank you for the question. That is a great question. I am all about teaching people to do things here on the server. I know that it is very hard for most people from transitioning to vanilla Minecraft to modded, because a lot of times these people have never experimented with mods like ever, and I know that some people have a little knowledge, some are more than others, but yes, I do think that the education and teaching them is important, not just to learn for Bliss, but just in general. It's always good to have these skills built up. As for your question, personally, I agree with the universal pricing, because, and I also think that it should not be majorly expensive, because since we are trying to teach these people how to do these and certain skills and like gain these skills, I do not think that it should be highly expensive since they are wanting to learn. So personally, I would like to charge as low as possible, but I do realize that eventually, I mean, I would love to go for free, but I know that everybody pays for it at some point. Somebody's going to pay for it. Not everything is going to be free for you. So I would like for it to start for the beginning courses to be like $150 at the most, because I think that is a good price, because you're learning your skills. It's not just for you, but it's just for, like learning how to do these types of things. Thank you.
Piggybacking off Wyatt's idea, I also would like to keep costs as low as possible, because for me, self-sufficiency is a very important thing on the server. Anyone who's been to any of my bases knows I have almost everything you could hope for, except for ores. But because of that, to me, it seems very important that we get the people who want to learn in there and get them taught as easily and efficiently as possible, so that the people who don't want to learn, they have someone who, say, they could commission to do work for them, thereby increasing jobs and increasing the overall economy and economic growth of the server. What I would suggest is possibly, with the addition of the low cost, how about we give them the opportunity to buy some of the materials that they'll be using in class, should they not be able to get them themselves for a small amount. And
I have to agree with Gateman.
And say, if someone like me or Wyatt were to bring it from our own personal stash, we would get compensated for that. If not, then the money would go to Queen to fund further endeavors.
I just want to put out there that this money goes to the person teaching the classes, not me.
Well, I know, I'm just talking about for the cost of any materials bought that would have to be provided. To say someone doesn't have golden chalk, for instance, or with the witchery mod, we would have to provide that, because it's not hard to make, but it is a pain in the ass, and it is kind of time consuming. So if we were to have someone provide it to them, the whole thing would go a lot easier. But at the same time, someone needs to be compensated for that.
Is it my turn? No.
Yes.
Okay. So actually, that idea gives me another really, really good idea. It's something that me and Kat have actually discussed, ironically. Like, she was kind of quote unquote teaching me Tinker's construct. Well, she was teaching me, but it wasn't like an official class or anything. She just was. And we still are learning with her. On top of that whole teaching idea, that gives me another huge idea. What if anybody could like teach whatever class that they wanted, and they could set their own prices? For example, if Bliss wants to teach witchery, he could set the price that he wants for his class to be. And that could involve maybe providing the materials or having the person provide their own materials, such things like that. And on top of that, I think it just is a better way of having people come up with a way of just like teaching in general, because when you have like what the price that we may come up with may not be fair to the person teaching. That's all I have.
I would like to point out that any sort of like teaching would be voluntary, so if they're not happy with the price, they could just not do it.
Exactly. So I want to speak about that for a minute. The price, I don't think, should be different for classrooms or for like a specific person teaching, because while some people might know more than others, obviously those people would teach the advanced classes, not the beginners. They could teach beginner if that's what they choose to, but they would be getting the money for their time, and each class would be like 20 to 30 minutes only each, because like, $100 for a class is kind of a lot, like in Minecraft. Like it's Minecraft, so I think $20 to $30, it's good for that. But The materials, however, as you guys were talking about, they would actually be provided in the classrooms. I would just need to know ahead of time, or an admin or a moderator even, because they have access to creative, would need to know ahead of time, so that way we could stock them for the class, and then when the class is over, we'll get rid of the remaining stuff. So yeah. So everything would be provided for the classes, so no one would need to bring their own. The people that are just teaching the classes to help people out are just making a little extra cash on the side, is all.
That approach works for me.
I have to kind of disagree with that, because some things are harder to teach than others, such as witchery takes a lot of materials, a lot of effort to do, and a lot of patience. And Tinker's Cons take a lot of patience and effort and materials. I don't think it takes as much, and I just don't think the prices are equal to each other for the amount of work that would take.
Well, wouldn't but the materials would be provided, right?
Yes.
Okay, so then, I mean, I don't see an issue with it, because if materials are being provided, are the main
all
responsibility.
that they're doing is their time.
Yeah, I think that the main goal is to teach people just how to use these mods. So since the materials are being provided, I think that the prices would yeah.
And using your example, Joe, witchery in itself isn't really that hard. Once you get the basics down, it's really just a permutation of that same basic maneuver each time. So, like, if you want to make one of the higher end items, all you have to do is combine several of the lower end ones in the same way you did to make them in the first place. So I think keeping it the way we're already suggesting would probably be a better idea for everyone involved.
The final question is, what is one flaw in Blisscraft Evolved, whether it be about the community that plays on here, a shopping district, or it can be literally anything as long as it's Blisscraft Evolved related, that you would like to see changed? We'll go you, Wyatt, Gateman.
Sounds good. I think, honestly, the shops could use a lot more work, because at the moment, there's a lot of plots that are unclaimed, and many people aren't really working towards building these shops, which again, yeah, we discussed that whole thing earlier, and if I am elected, of course I will work to get all these things fixed. But another one is, I really think that, how do I put this? You know what? Never mind. This one doesn't matter. Never mind. Yeah, pretty much just shopping. I just think shopping district cleaning up.
Okay. Wyatt?
All right. I actually have to disagree with Joe. I think that, especially lately, shopping really evolving a lot more and becoming a lot nicer, not just for the shop owners, but I think everyone has really been working hard for the shopping districts. But anyways, personally, something I would like to change is to try to get people to help more around the server, because like we've said before, we really want to get ahead on these government jobs and more of these buildings to come about and stuff, but it's just that we're not getting enough help with these. So I would personally love to see the activity increase, and then the I don't know what you would say it, but like what you would call it, but like, just seeing the productivity increase, and then I would, just like to see how everything works out, and how well we can work together. And I would be more than willing to help out with trying to get people on more, to plan some special events that would potentially get people on. And I do think that people who help are definitely not recognized enough as they should be. So I would definitely give them proper recognition, and just, give them the proper shout out that they deserve for giving their time and, just helping around, because I think that helping is something big that is needed and we're kind of lacking here on the server. So just it's always important to see the productivity and the increase work out. But thank you for the question.
Okay, and Gateman, I see that you left the game, but that's because you're getting ready to go somewhere or something.
It could have just been my computer dying.
Oh, okay.
Like I said, I've been outside the entire time so that I cause as little distraction to the others as possible.
Oh, okay. Same question.
The big thing that I would like to change on the server is, it's gonna sound weird, but our knowledge. We have so many mods, like before, or even as the last mod pack, I believe it said there was 74 mods in it, and a worrying amount of the players either don't know about them or don't know how to use them to the best that they could do. So I want to make it my mission to inform people, maybe not as much as they would learn through the college, but inform them of at least the very basics of the bigger mods like Tinker's Construct, Witchery, and the other ones that could make their lives a lot simpler. And like I said, through a couple times through my speeches, self-sufficiency is a big thing for me, because the faster we get a person to be self-reliant, the faster that they can start contributing to the overall health and well-being of the server. So if I have to go and personally help hold their hands and guide them through some of the more complicated things, I have no problem doing that, if it means a better game for
And
them.
does anyone have any closing? Who is that? Bye.
I do.
I have one too. That's cool.
Me and my administration will work really hard to accomplish whatever the citizens want. We want the citizens to have a say in everything being done from now on. And we'll work with you guys to make a better Bliss. And we'll also try to, we will try to get into office without it.
Okay. And can you state your slogan, please?
A better Bliss.
Okay. Gateman?
When I first heard the elections were rolling around, I wasn't really interested in running, and it was only through happenstance that I'm here today. And I have to say that I'm kind of happy I did, because it's given me an insight into how the server is being run and what we can do to change it for the better. So a vote for me and D will bring you change, preferably positive change. We will work to be the leaders of the people that I feel that we should have. We will make sure that everyone's voice is heard and everyone gets feels like they have some contribution to the server, no matter how big or small the amount of time that they actually play on there is.
Okay. And your slogan?
We are opening the gates to progress.
Okay. And Wyatt?
Yes, thank you. Yes, I honestly, before the debate became talked about, I honestly was not going to. I had considered just dropping out and not really entering for re-election, because of the fact that I feel like we didn't do anything, and I feel like someone should at least have the power to, who will do something with the position, really do something with it. But I thought about it and I decided against that, because I don't want to go out of office without people seeing who we really are, who me and Heike really are, we can really do. So I'm definitely going to be devoting a lot of time. I definitely want to hear the community's voice more. I do think that the government really shouldn't keep secrets from the citizens of Bliss, so I would definitely make it a priority to keep everyone up to date on what is happening in the government, because I think that it is really important to know what is happening. But then again, I really do want to hear the community's voice as well, to see what they want to see, and what they would like and what they think could help the server and benefit the server.
And your slogan?
Making Bliss greater.
Okay. At this time, I want to thank everybody for their time and everything, for coming on out. So yeah. This will be posted on my channel on Sunday, what is today? Sunday the 17th, which is tomorrow. So I'm gonna have to work on this tonight. Yay, me. So, I want to thank you guys all for coming out and watching, if you're watching this, and bye.
Thank you, everybody. It is really important that you all go out and vote, no matter who you are voting for. It is really do vote. So please, please, please go home, go out tonight and go vote. Voting opens right after the debate.
True. There's also going to be a straw poll down in the description of my video for all of the viewers to vote on as well, and all of the people that record can also post it in their videos. I am here in front of the voting booth stand. It's not really a booth or a stand, it's actually a building. It's a voting building, but you know, we call it a voting booth because, you know, there's booths inside. But anyways, if you guys want to go here, you can do /warp underscore, not underscore, don't do an underscore, /warp space vote. If you are on the Blisscraft Evolve server, of course, and if you are not, again, you have the straw poll that you guys can use. Please, please, please do not just vote for someone that you like, vote for someone that you think that is going to do the very best job. And the voting will actually go on until, of course, it starts raining. When I had to pause to look at the, oh, okay, someone toggled the downfall. I had to look at the date as to when it was because I briefly forgot. We aren't going to discuss it though. But the Monday, September 25th is when you can vote until at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. That is when I am closing the polls for this. So at the time of this video going up, you will have a little over a week to do it. Hey Wyatt, how's it going? So yeah, and then the winner will actually be announced in the chat. Oh, he's replacing the anvils in there, it looks like. Hey, bye. The winner will be announced in the actual community Discord chat. Why are some of the fairy lights are missing? Okay, anyways, I'm getting distracted. It'll be announced that night in there, and I will probably make a really, really short video or something, or I don't know, and post it on the same day, maybe the next day. It depends on if I want to make the video only like 3 minutes long, or if I want to make like a proper video and put that in there too. At some point, probably at the beginning of the video. I don't really know. If I do that though, it'll be the following day on the 26th when you guys would know. So it'll be one or the other. So you guys won't know too late compared to everybody else. But yeah, I just wanted to hop on, and I'm very, very scared. Goodbye. Yeah, so I just wanted to hop on here and explain that to you guys. Also, this is what the voting booths look like. Both sides are the exact same. That is that. So we have this creep following me, but get out and vote, whether it's a straw poll or it's on the server. And I will talk to you guys all in my next video. Bye.